Today in the crypto space, we see a bit of confusion throughout the market. Bitcoin getting a bit of a rejection at about $46,400. However, guys, these altcoins, Ethereum leading the way to the upside, up approximately 8.5%. And some of these altcoins, part of the Ethereum narrative, are definitely in the green. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. However, guys, I want to talk about one project that has retraced significantly in the last little while, and that project is called Neon. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on those socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord's where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. Bitcoin getting a bit of a hesitation, guys. You know what? I really do feel like where Bitcoin is right now, both price action and sentiment, at the current moment, the ETF, in my opinion, is not going to be something that is going to be a make it or break it moment for Bitcoin. In my opinion, right now, this is the time to see a lot of volatility. It is the ideal time to see volatility, and that's what we have been seeing in the last little while. So for me, Bitcoin right now is a no trade zone scenario. I'm looking for other opportunities. And of course, yesterday, if you caught the live stream, I did mention that what I would be focusing on is Ethereum and Ethereum's overall ecosystem. Ethereum today is up 8.5%, give or take, looking very strong and breaking out of its consolidation and ultimately looking really good, leading the way for the altcoins for a potential altcoin season. Tonight, we will be looking at the possibility of getting this altcoin season, looking at the Bitcoin dominance. Overall, we'll look at Ethereum price, and we'll see if this is actually possible here, guys, because you know here on the channel, we have been focusing on all the altcoins, mid caps, low caps, micro caps, and finding great entries at lower levels. Guys, if you appreciate all of that, make sure that you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of these future videos that I release each and every single day. All right, guys, let's continue. We do see Solana going sideways, BNB going sideways. Everything that is Ethereum base is pretty much showing a little bit of strength here. Staked Ether, of course. And if you keep on going down, we got a lot of sideways price action, right? Because until we see the money flow into some more ecosystems, some more altcoins, we're going to expect that Ethereum might be sucking liquidity, sucking capital out of the market. And of course, we're going to see Ethereum grow. We're going to see Ethereum run. And that's what we've been seeing in the last little while. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. We have a lot of these altcoins still going sideways. We have a Lido doing pretty good. Nice run to the upside. OP, nice move to the upside, up 20% right now today, which is pretty healthy for the layer 2 projects. Basically layer 2 solutions on Ethereum. We have Optimism, we have Arbitrum, we have many others, guys, that we have to watch out for. And of course, Neon is the project for today. We'll be discussing Neon's price action very shortly, so hold on here, guys. We'll take a look at the general market first, then take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and then we'll take a look at Neon is definitely an interesting project, but it has been coming down in the last little while. So the question is, should we be buying the dip? Okay, so we'll take a look at that analysis very soon. Filecoin grinding to the downside, but it's still kind of going sideways, but you can't negate. Look at Ethereum Classic, still looking good, up 7%, looking for that breakout continuation to the upside as possible, again, based off of that Ethereum narrative. We have other layer ones, even Stacks. Look at Stacks at the end of the day. It kind of dabbles into both altcoin narrative and Bitcoin narrative kind of thing. It is still down, but structurally speaking, still looking okay. We have Caspa going sideways. We have Arbitrum doing good, up 20% today. Another layer 2 solution for Ethereum. Interesting stuff there. And I forgot, what else do we have here? We have Injective. We have HBAR going sideways. We have Arbitrum. We have VeChain going sideways. We have MNT, Mantle getting a nice pop to the upside. That's pretty good. Maker, part of the ETH ecosystem, doing pretty good here. Nice run, nice breakout. Quant going sideways. Rocket Pool ETH, another Ethereum-based project looking pretty good. So we're getting signals across the board that Ethereum projects are doing good. Okay, despite the negativity in the last little while regarding Ethereum and the gas fees and this and that, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what is the prospect here? The prospect is that Ethereum eventually becomes an ETF as well. And we're trying to the market is trying to front run this idea. And you know what? So be it. The reality is Ethereum does have the history and the credit to get what it needs to get out of the market, basically become another ETF. So that is really, really bullish overall. BitTensor Tau coming down for another 14% dip here. Ultimately, I expected this retracement. I'm looking at DCA opportunities as we speak. So make sure that you stay tuned for updates regarding BitTensor Tau. I think it's a great project, but any retracements, any signs of bullish support on any retracement will be buy the dip opportunities for myself. Okay, so that's what we got to take advantage of in the next little while is dips throughout the market. What else do we have here? We have Beam looking okay, at least going sideways. Bonk getting a bit of a rejection, but still up 8% today. Don't knock it, still looking good. If you're into meme coins, guys, there are some of them that are still looking good and running up. Frax, Ether, again, anything ETH related is looking strong. Again, another indication that we're doing good here with regards to Ethereum, and then that's it. The top 100 right now is looking fairly strong, and insinuating that, you know what, we should be focusing on ETH. And you guys know what that means for me as an altcoin trader. Focusing on altcoins, I'm expecting an altcoin season next. I'm expecting some of the money flow to get out of Ethereum eventually, and hitting some of these altcoins and getting that money flow to these altcoins where we can see that altcoin season. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, but before we do that, let's give a quick shout out to NFTCalendar, guys. If you're looking for NFTs, if you're looking for opportunities to get into, of course, more speculative assets that have real potential for a bounce to the upside, guys, NFTCalendar has the latest drops in NFTs. And if you're looking for to get in before the actual drops, this will give you a heads up as to when and where to get your hands on some of these hot projects that are going to be released very soon. We know that we have exited the bear market and we should be looking for diversification across the board. NFTCalendar has what you need, guys. Go check it out. Of course, the link is going to be in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Great project overall. All right, guys, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin ultimately is still within the range upward sloping channel. Yes, it is, but it is getting some extreme levels of volatility at this area. We can see quick runs, quick dips, quick movements to the upside and to the downside, and that whipsaw price action is definitely what gets people wrecked. So we got to be very careful here with this volatility because I don't trust it. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. Ultimately, what we do see here is Bitcoin showing us a potential distribution, and it's going to take a little bit more data here to actually solidify this, but I'm going to try to stay one step ahead of the market here, because really, if we start seeing quick dips like this, quick rejections, wicks at the tops, and peaks and valleys that basically get rejected really quickly, it starts to lead me to believe that people are offloading, and offloading at this moment is absolutely ideal. It would be an amazing way to raise liquidity, to basically hunt liquidity at this level, especially for some of those whales out there that have been accumulating Bitcoin at the bottom range. Remember, Bitcoin is up approximately 200% from its bottom, and no one is not going to try to convince me that the whales that are trying to get into Bitcoin didn't accumulate at those bottoms. They definitely did, and they could be looking to offload at the current moment. Okay, so this is what we got to keep in mind. Bitcoin kind of going sideways here. The momentum is still in that divergent state, getting that class A bearish divergence. It's better that we get onto the daily quickly because this is showing us a lot of noise. You can see higher highs on the price action and still maintaining the lower highs on the RSI, and the MACD giving us a very similar signal here on the strength of this momentum. Guys, I'm not trusting this price action. It could be that we go up for another little bit, but ultimately 48K I think was the local top. A bit of a retracement, and then we'll talk about buying the dip once we see that pullback down to lower levels. When we see the daily, maybe even the 4 hour down to oversold conditions, then I'll start dabbling in, considering buying in on some altcoins. Guys, my Bitcoin bags are full. I'm happy with my Bitcoin allocation. If we come down, I don't think I'm going to be buying more Bitcoin, but I'll definitely be buying some altcoins. Okay, guys, let's jump right into the altcoin chart for today, and that project is Neon. Guys, look at Neon. You remember how bullish Neon was looking the last couple of days, the few days back? It ran up significantly from the bottom. Guys, we got a great entry here on the channel. This is where we started looking at Neon, and I got my first big bag right around the zone. Now, of course, a lot of my my profits got basically taken by the market, and you can see this retracement. That's exactly what happens in the market. And we look at this horizontal level. This was the level to basically start looking for a defensive strategy. We broke the previous low and we started coming down. Guys, I made sure that I released a video making this plan. We're going to get onto the 4 hours so you can see this play by play a little bit better. But what's more important now is the daily. Why? Because the daily momentum is getting to the chop zone, which means that we could get support like we have done in the past, okay? And we could go sideways for the next little while at the 50% mark of this RSI, which is healthy. We come down, we chop around here, and as you can see, we fall low and we chop around here and then go for another pop to the upside. It's very possible, okay? So we're going to take it one step at a time. What I do see here is a mean reversion play, and this usually happens when you see quick dumps or quick rallies to the upside, and you see that the EMA, the moving average here, the yellow line, does really fall away from the RSI, which means that the RSI momentum needs to kind of, pull back a little bit, get back to that yellow line. That yellow line and the purple line, they want to stay together for as long as possible. But then as soon as they get back together, they try to move away from one another. And that's the relationship that they have. You can see that ultimately we pull away, we get back. We pull away, we get back. We pull away, we get back. So I'm expecting a bit of a pullback on Neon to the upside, and not based on the daily, maybe based on the 4 hour. Okay, the daily is still pushing to the downside. Now we could get oversold. That's the most bearish case scenario, is that we get into oversold conditions and we can buy the dips at absolute bottoms. That would be ideal. About 30% mark, that's what the entries would be, but not until I am satisfied with a bit of a pop to the upside to close this mean reversion scenario, right? I'm not really interested in seeing this gap right here between these two lines. So I want to see them close up and then get a continuation to the downside. So for me, no fresh longs at the current moment. We could get a bit of support here on this 50 EMA, the pink line. As you can see, as of now, we do not have enough data to produce a 200 daily, so we're gonna have to use the 50 EMA. Not a big deal, but you can see the MACD is still pushing to the downside. EMAs are still crossed to the downside. Red histogram bars are not looking good at the current moment, so no real signs from the MACD that we are done pushing to lower levels. So we got to be very careful here with the daily. Now that we've established that the daily is still somewhat bearish, and that we could, afford a bit of a bounce, a bit of relief on this daily as well because of the mean reversion, let's jump into lower time frames to see if we can snipe a good entry for a potential bounce. And what could we expect? You can see that the overall momentum is kind of bottoming out. Okay, we have that green arrow here. This is where I'm putting locations on the chart where I'm interested. Previous price action, lots of consolidation here, a decent amount of volume in here to act as support, which is good. We fell below the volume gap, a bit of a gap here. You can see that we kind of fell below, and we're kind of hesitant right around this level. We do have a bit of volume coming into this level. Obviously, it's a negative price action. It is decreasing price action with volume, suggests that we could continue to the downside. But like I said, if we get signals of a reversal, of a pivot point here on the 4 hour, I'm interested. So getting in blind right now, the issue is getting in blind and buying a dip at this level is that you're trying to catch a falling knife both on the daily and also here on the 4 hour. The only indication that you have at the current moment that we could get some support is that we are in oversold conditions. That's about it. However, we can stay in oversold conditions for a significant amount of time before we get that bounce. Now we have to identify the next level of support, and that would be all the way down here at about $1, okay, give or take, right around here. This is where I expect, if we continue to the downside, to get, and that would be based on the daily. The 4 hour is already oversold, so I'm hoping that if we can see some structural support building a inverse head and shoulder, a cup and handle, an Adam and Eve, anything that would show us a W, any type of bottomish type of price action with class A bullish divergence, class B bullish divergence, or any sign of divergence on the RSI or the MACD, I'm interested. Okay, so we could be building support here. Now, this is why I always say DCAing is a great strategy. As soon as we see a spike of volume building right around this area, it could be an indication that the market is willing to start dabbling in and building a position, and bringing in a bit of accumulation into this phase would be absolutely healthy for a nice bounce to the upside and get a bit of relief. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to make a higher high. It could be still a lower high, but it could give us an opportunity, number one, to exit our positions in a decent level, at a decent level. If you didn't exit from these double top scenario or the break of this trend, the change of structure right here, making that lower low, you could potentially get right back here, make that lower high, and still exit at a decent level, right? We can trail up stop losses and exit at a decent level. But in addition to that, we can get into a bit of a long position to see if maybe if the market turns bullish again and the Ethereum, does act like a catalyst for the altcoin season, that we may get a higher high here on Neon. Neon was very, very bullish in the last few days. But of course, as it's coming down, you can see that people are ignoring it. They're pretty salty, but this is the buy the dip opportunity here, guys. This is what we have to watch out for. So let's look at this in a little bit more detail as well. We can look at this RSI. You can see the RSI, there's no sign of divergence, but we're definitely oversold. Okay, what we want to do is see some sort of data here to suggest that we're creating a pivot point. So we want the price action. So we want the momentum to maybe, let's say, start going up somehow. Okay, some sort of peaks and valleys on momentum, trying to go up, maybe do something like this as well, and then keep on going back up. Okay, so we'll kind of keep this loose. The idea is that we want to start making higher lows. Okay, overall, I don't know exactly how they're going to look, but you get what I mean. Now, price action wise, again, very similar thing. We could come up, get a bounce, maybe come back down again, something like that. And even still, with the current price action, we can see that we are definitely making lower lows. So if we make lower lows on the price for the next little while still kind of staying within this general area and seeing that the momentum is making higher lows, we're going to be making class A bullish divergence right into the previous consolidation that should act as support. Now, this could be not as accurate, right? This is obviously a very hypothetical. What I want to say here is, if we make lower lows while the momentum is starting to shift to the upside, making higher lows, that is divergence, and we should start building a bit of confidence here that we are creating that pivot point. Obviously, guys, are going to try to give you updates along the way. Join me live at 7:30 Eastern, and we can talk about this chart as it goes on day by day. And the Discord is a great place to keep in touch, obviously, with the community. But really, we should start paying attention for potential pivot point in divergence here. Okay, so look, the MACD coming down, EMAs are coming down, red histogram bars, we got a pale pink histogram bar, but we could still push to the downside, and it's still very possible we are in the bearish control zones, insinuating that the momentum, the trend right now is very strong in the bearish case, right? So what could we do? We have to be very patient. We wait for the EMA cross on the EMAs right here on the MACD, and at least give us one green histogram bar to the upside. And yes, we did have one before, and we got faked out, we got wrecked. Of course, that happens, guys. That's why stop losses are important. And this is why anticipating, the worst is great, but hoping for the best is obviously more important, right? So you want to make sure that you can put a stop loss in there and protect your capital, and obviously trail up a stop loss when you get into some profits so that you can protect your gains. So what I'm really trying to say here is, on the 4 hour, we could be preparing for a setup for a long position to the upside. Okay, the daily is still looking bearish. This 4 hour long needs to consider the daily time frame. Why? Because I'm not expecting to actually make a higher high. It could, but it may not, just given that the daily. So what that means, that you got to get aggressive in your profit taking. You got to get defensive with your profits as soon as possible, because ultimately, if the daily momentum and the daily sentiment keeps on pushing to the downside after a bit of relief to the upside, it means that you're going to be giving back those short-term gains to the market. And that's a very unfortunate thing here, guys. You want to be profitable, you got to be able to take profits and identify when to take profits. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a huge favor, slap the like button. It does obviously help out with the algorithm. I'm going to be live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, talking about crypto news and price action. That is a great time and place for you to join and make any requests on any projects that you're interested in to cover, so that we can come up with a plan and a strategy going forward for this up and coming bull run. Guys, check out NFTCalendar. It's a great place to find the latest NFT drops prior to this bull run. Get prepared, because diversification is key. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.